You keep calling it bad luck. You keep calling it timing. You keep calling it other people. But if the same patterns keep showing up in your life, you have to stop pretending it's random. Your relationships, your habits, your reactions, same problems in different forms. At some point, you have to ask yourself something honestly. Is life repeating itself, or are you repeating the same pattern? Because the pattern is not accidental. It's showing you something. It's showing you what you keep choosing, avoiding, accepting, and repeating without even realizing it. A pattern isn't one bad decision. It's what you keep returning to without noticing. It can show up in how you think, how you react, how you choose, what you avoid, what you tolerate, and what you keep defending even when you know it's not helping you. Most people don't see the pattern at first. They just keep dealing with the outcome and convincing themselves this time it's different. Just think about this. Different person, different situation, different excuse. But somehow the result still feels familiar. That's where the pattern starts to reveal itself. Not through one moment, but through what keeps happening afterward. Not to blame yourself or shame yourself, but to understand what role you might be playing in keeping that pattern alive. Patterns matter because they show you what's become normal to you. Something can feel familiar without being right for you. That's why people can stay in the same situation for years and still act surprised when nothing changes. They keep choosing from the same mindset, reacting from the same place, avoiding needed conversations, and tolerating discomfort because it feels easier than uncertainty. Then they wonder why life leads them back to a similar result. But the result is not separate from the pattern. The result is usually the pattern fully exposed. That's why you have to look at what keeps happening without immediately blaming the world, timing, and people around you. Sometimes those things play a role, but if patterns keep following you into different places, relationships, jobs, and stages of life, then you have to ask what part of it you keep bringing with you. You can see this clearly in relationships. Some people choose the same type of person, then act confused when it starts feeling familiar again. Maybe the face, the story, and beginning are different, but eventually the same issue starts showing up. You feel unheard, you feel drained. You avoid saying what you really think because you don't want to deal with the reaction. At that point, the question is not only, why does this keep happening to me? The better question is, what am I repeatedly accepting, ignoring, avoiding, or calling love when it might just be familiarity? Because sometimes the pattern is not the person. Sometimes the pattern is what you keep allowing yourself to stay connected to. This also shows up in your work and daily habits. You may say you want to feel better, look better, think clearer, make more money, or have more control over your life. But your day keeps showing you something different. You stay up late, eat in a way that makes you feel worse, and push the same task to tomorrow. Then you feel surprised that tomorrow feels even heavier. You say you want change, but keep building the same day, expecting a different life. This is not about judging yourself. It's about being honest enough to look at the gap between what you say you want and what you keep choosing. Your habits are quiet evidence. They show what you're making room for, what you're avoiding, what you're prioritizing, and what version of yourself you keep feeding with your attention. Patterns also show up in the way you react. Someone says something small, but your reaction is bigger than the moment itself. You get defensive, shut down, pull away, or act like you don't care when really something in you got touched. Instead of looking at that, you blame the person, the tone, the timing, or the situation. And yeah, sometimes they might be wrong, but your reaction is showing you something about yourself. It might show you where you feel insecure, unheard, disrespected, or protective of something deeper. If you never look at your reactions, you'll keep thinking everyone else is the problem, while your own patterns control how you respond. This is where it becomes easy to blame everything outside of yourself. The person, the situation, the timing, your past, your stress, your environment. And sometimes those things do play a role. So does what you keep accepting, what you keep avoiding, and how you keep reacting when life puts pressure on you. That might feel easier in the moment, but it keeps you stuck. Because if you have no role in the pattern, then you also have no power to change it. But the moment you see your role clearly, even if it's uncomfortable, you are empowered to change the pattern. So once you notice the pattern, the next step isn't to panic or judge yourself. It's to interrupt it. Start small. When something familiar happens, pause and ask yourself, have I been here before? Not in the exact same situation, but in the same feeling, reaction, excuse, or result. If the answer is yes, slow down before you respond the way you normally would, because that pause is where the pattern starts losing control over you. You give yourself the chance to choose something different. Maybe that means having the conversation you usually avoid. Maybe it means walking away instead of proving your point. Maybe it means doing the thing you said you were going to do, even when you don't feel like doing it. The change does not have to be dramatic. It just has to be conscious. One different choice proves the pattern is not stronger than your awareness. Your pattern is not your identity. It might feel like you because you've repeated it, but repetition doesn't make something permanent. It only makes it familiar. Once something becomes familiar, people start defending it, excusing it, and sometimes building their personality around it. But you are not stuck with every version of yourself you've practiced becoming. You can notice the pattern, question it, and interrupt it. Each time you do, you prove that you are not limited to the same reaction, the same excuse, or the same outcome. That's where real change starts. Not when the pattern disappears overnight, but when you stop moving with it unconsciously and start choosing with awareness. So pay attention to what keeps repeating, because what keeps repeating is trying to get your attention. These patterns are not to shame you. They are here to show you what still needs your attention. At some point, the pattern stops becoming something that happens to you. It becomes something you are choosing to continue. Once you see that clearly, you have a decision to make. You can keep calling it bad luck, timing, or other people, or you can finally ask yourself what that pattern has been showing you. Repeat it unconsciously or interrupt it intentionally. And every time you interrupt what no longer reflects you, you create another opportunity to awaken and evolve.